Fortune lady told my mama before I saw the sun, said your boy's gonna love too hard and break more than one. You're gonna make sweet women laugh and cry, laugh and cry, in a whole wide world. Laugh and cry. Gonna ask him why, laugh and cry. But you know why I'm torn. Everybody knows I'm torn. Yeah, you know I'm a midnight man. Everybody knows I'm torn. I got a black cat charm and a heart turned blue. Got a letter from my baby saying I'm done.
Well, good evening. I'm back up again on Pendle Hill. It's quite early. It's only just after 20 past 7, and the sun has still got a long way to go yet. But I thought I'd come up here and take in the view. It's a stunningly beautiful evening. A bit blustery, but that's good insect-wise. There's a few clouds in the sky, but not many. Mainly just sunshine, which is on my face at the moment. Very pleasant. Now, tonight's camp is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be trying out 2 new pieces of kit. The first of them is this item here, which is the Venture Solo XL Bivi bag. I've decided to have a go with the Bivi bag, and it's one with the hoops and the netting, that type. I got this particular brand because this is one of the longest ones you can get. The Alp Kit Hunker XL is good in the sense it's broad, but this one's actually quite a lot longer, which for me I think will make me feel I've got more headspace when I'm inside, and maybe even room for more equipment if I'm sleeping out in inclement weather. But I must admit, the main reason I'm trying this out is not to do with that. It's to do with the fact that I fancy a go at this stealth camping. It's all very well having to come up these hills to find somewhere far enough away from civilization to stay overnight. But as you know, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And there are some beautiful lowland areas in the Ribble Valley and the Hollywood Valley where I'd love to spend the night. Which don't involve climbing 500, 600, 700 feet up from the valley basin, and but to do that, I couldn't. It wouldn't be wise to erect a full tent. I think you're going to be just too visible. So my plan is to use this. Is that in focus? To use this bivy bag. Together with a different mattress. I'll show you that in a moment as well. A narrower and slightly smaller one, which will fit me, but is not quite as big as the one I usually use, which means hopefully it'll fit inside the bivy bag and my usual sleeping bag. And I've also got myself a bigger pillow. I decided a bigger pillow would be more comfortable and more like sleeping at home. So actually there's 3 new bits of kit I've got for tonight. I think if I put I've got a black waterproof bag, 90 litres, into which I can put everything else overnight. So if there is a shower, everything's dry, and all I have to do in the morning is roll up my bivy bag, sleeping bag and everything, pop it in my rucksack and head off. And I think because it's it's the quickest thing to set up, the lowest profile thing you can sleep in, and the quickest to put away, that improves my chances of being able to stay overnight somewhere, perhaps near a riverbank or near a reservoir or something like that, rather than always coming up onto the hill. Nice though hills are. Some days I'm a little bit creakier than others, and it would be nice to have options. I think the tent will probably still be the only thing I can use in the winter time, and because I'm going to be in the tent for a long time, and it will be cold outside. So sitting here like this, talking to the camera, isn't going to work when there's a wind chill taking the temperatures sub-zero. So I think my bigger sleeping bag, and I still will use my tent and my mesh tent when I'm on the hillside, because I have more room for me and my equipment. But I think if I'm going to quietly spend the night by a riverside or by a reservoir where there is a higher chance of being spotted, I do need to lower my profile and blend in even more with the countryside, so that I can stay the night, not do any harm, not do any damage, pack up, leave no trace, but I enjoy that evening listening to the river running down over the stones, or the wildlife on a reservoir, or all the other joys that can come from lowland camping. Okay, so back to the subject of kits. By the way, I've bought all this myself with my own money. There's no promotion or sponsorship or anything like that. So, say bivy bag, 265 centimeters long, with little plastic hoops to keep the fabric off your face, and either a netting, which obviously gives you better breathing and less condensation if it's a dry night, but you can also zip up the outer and can make yourself completely waterproof. So that's one thing I've got. The other thing I brought with me is a different sleeping mat. This is the one I've got. Now this has got the same R rating as my expensive Therma, what it was called. Yeah, I paid £260 for. But this was, I think, just under £100, and it has the same R rating as the expensive one. But I've watched the YouTube videos on it, and people's experience is that it's actually very good. So maybe if I'm going somewhere where the risk of a puncture is higher, so not nice soft grass like we have here, or heather, but where there is a risk of puncture, I probably would risk this one. Easier to replace if there's a damage done. I mean, in terms of size and weight, it's about the same. Maybe the bag is slightly narrower, but so I'm going to give that a go. And then the other thing I bought is this Trekology inflatable pillow. I quite like the pillow I've got at the moment, which is that one, Eros, but it's a little bit small, and keeping your head on the pillow at night can be a little bit precarious, whereas this one, as you'll see in a minute, is a lot bigger, and I think it also has a softer top. It's meant to simulate having like a real pillow, although behind that obviously is the inflated chamber. But it's wider, and I think because I sleep on my side and I tend to turn from side to side overnight, this may work better for me. So 3 new bits of kit to try out. Right, so those are the plans for tonight. A new shelter, a new mattress, a new pillow, the same Alpkit sleeping bag, and I'll let you know how I get on. So there you can see it's a huge space, even with that fully inflated mat in there. There's a lot of room for me to sleep in there tonight. Plenty of room for my sleeping bag and other bits and pieces. I'll get into it in a moment and show you the view from the other side. So, as promised, here's me inside the bivvy. I've got my feet just to calibrate at the bottom, and I'd probably just move up a little bit. It's about there, probably. That's right, so my feet aren't touching the bottom at all now. You can see the bivvy above me, and if I turn this round, hopefully you can see how much room there is at the head. So plenty of room to keep all of the bits and pieces I need during the night in there, things that I need to keep warm and dry. And the rest of it I can put into a bag, seal it up and leave it, waterproof bag, and leave it up and leave it outside. The nettings is here, as you can see. So if you undo this bit, and you can just leave the netting in place to keep the bugs out. Okay, so what I've done now is I've opened up the main flap, just leaving the netting in place, and as you can see, I can look from here straight up to the very top of Pendle Hill. There's plenty of light and also plenty of room. I'm really pleased with this. I'll try and turn around and show you the inside again. I'll just show you that opening, and there's little toggles to hold the main flap out of the way when the weather's nice and you want to leave the flaps open overnight. And as you can see, I've got tons of room, although my mattress I think is at the bottom of the bivvy. My feet aren't quite there. I've literally turned around to show you the length and the amount of space you've got. Although this part of the bivvy will relax down onto your body, the front is held in place by the plastic hoop, and that together with the 4 pegs holds the whole thing in place. Just unzip that. Do one-handed, and then you can get out. There's a shot of with my head sticking out the bivvy, looking down the length of it. It's, do you know, ginormous. I'm really pleased. There's the sun setting over there. And I'll just pan around. So I can sit here even on a cold night, wrapped up in my sleeping bag and my thermals, with my head on a nice pillow, and watch the sunset. How good is that going to be? Fantastic. Okay. Now I normally pack up in the morning, but as I said, I've got to go back a bit earlier this evening than I originally planned. I was going to stay overnight. But since I'm packing up, I'll just show you what I've rationalised my kit down to, if that's helpful. The first thing I put into my bag is my sleeping bag, because that crushes right down to the bottom. Normally in the winter I'd have a dry sack lining this as well, but I don't need that this time of year. Woolly hat, and then these fantastic duck down, goose down booties. Never had cold feet since I got those. They're absolutely fantastic. Make sure you've got those if you have cold feet. Then it's my old pillow, and then my new pillow, so it's a bit bigger. I'm going to keep them both until I finally decide which one I want to use. On the outside, this is my metal tray and spoon, because they're a bit sharp. I put them on the outside. Then now my new inflatable mat and my bivvy all folded away now with the little plastic hoop holes. I then have a towel just for condensation, which in the future could be inside the bivvy as well as on the outside of the tent. And then I've got a selection of tent pegs, various sizes. These are my favourite. They are Optimus outdoor gear pegs. They come out nice and clean. But there are some of my tents have got smaller eyelets, so I need slightly different pegs for those. Again, because those are sharp, I put those on the outside. Then in here, I've got my meal, dehydrated meal, my coffees, that little attachment for the jet boiler to raise the pan off the stove, and the actual pan itself. They all live in that thing. And again, because there's some sharp bits and pieces there, I put that on the outside. What's there now? I've got this bag full of goodies. So in here are things like insect repellent, a thing for getting rid of ticks. I'm insect phobia personally. Power pack, some wipes, some ibuprofen, and one or two other pills, indigestion pills and things. Plastic bag for waste. I've got some cord here just in case I need it. I've got my head torch, and a couple of pegs, which are some of my tents are handy for just holding things back out of the way where they haven't provided the right facilities. So all those sort of things, all the electrical stuff, and that includes the pump for my mattress and my cup, all live in that little bag, so I always know where they are. Sealed it up, pop that in, and then all that's left then is my faithful jet boil, which I put in this the other side pocket here. That goes in first. And I should put my pegs on the other side. That's better. The gas bottle. Oh, it's come out. Right, there we go. And then I've got my water, which I tend to hold on to because it's quite heavy. Just hold it in my hand. I've got this bottle, and you seasoned campers will know what that's for. And then I've got that 90-litre sack, which I put everything in when I go to sleep at night, so to keep everything dry. And then in the morning I take my rucksack out of here, and then I've got the spare, and if my tent is wet I could just put my tent in this and carry it in my hand down the hill rather than get everything else wet. So anything that's wet goes into this for the walk home or the walk back to my car. And that's it. That's my equipment. It normally comes in with the water and everything, it's just over 10 kilos, which is not bad. And I've looked through that list of things so many times, I really can't do without any of that stuff. Most of it is stuff I use every time, and there are one or two things, just in case things, which I really would miss if I needed them in an emergency, medical stuff and so on. But that's my kit list. So I hope you found that helpful. Okay then, so with the sun setting behind me, I'm going to walk back to my car and provide a bit of help at home. I'm sorry if the sound quality in that what's in my bag section of the video was a bit windy. For some reason my Bluetooth mic didn't kick in and it was picking up the sound through the phone. But I've just listened to it again. I think it's intelligible, and if I can clean it up a little bit before I publish, I will. But meanwhile, from the slopes of Pendle, I wish you a very good evening, and I shall finish with a pan round to show you a beautiful view of the valley from up here on the slopes of Pendle Hill in Lancashire. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Fortune lady told my mama before I saw the sun, said your boy's gonna love too hard and break more than one. He gonna make sweet women laugh and cry, laugh and cry, laugh and cry, in a whole wide world. Laugh and cry, gonna ask him why. Laugh and cry, but you know why I'm torn. Everybody knows I'm torn. Yeah, you know I'm a midnight man. Everybody knows I'm torn. I got a black cat charm and a heart turned blue. Got a letter from my baby saying I'm done with you. I'm gonna make you good, lead me by my hand. Then the crowd gon' cry for the midnight man. Laugh and cry, laugh and cry, but you know I'm torn. Everybody knows I'm torn. Yeah, you know I'm a midnight man. Everybody knows